Have you ever felt completely surrounded, outnumbered, and overwhelmed by your problems? Like you're standing on a cliff's edge with nowhere to turn. It's a terrifying feeling, one that can make even the strongest person feel small and helpless. There's an incredible story from ancient times that speaks directly to this feeling. A story about a man named Elisha and his young servant. It's a powerful reminder that what we see with our eyes is always the full picture. So let's set the scene. Elisha was a prophet, a man who had a direct line to God. At this time, the king of Aram was at war with Israel. Every time the Aramean king planned a surprise attack, a secret ambush, Elisha would somehow know the exact location and warn the king of Israel. Imagine the frustration. The king of Aram would gather his commanders and say, "All right, we're going to set a trap for the Israelites at this specific valley." And just as they were about to spring it, they'd find the Israelites were already gone. This happened over and over again. The king of Aram was furious. He was convinced he had a traitor in his own camp. He assembled his officers and demanded, "Which one of you is leaking information to the king of Israel?" But one of his officers, who had heard stories about Elisha, spoke up. He said, "It's not us, my lord the king. It's Elisha, the prophet in Israel. He tells his king the very words you speak in your own bedroom." Now, the king's frustration turned into a new mission: capture Elisha. He sent out spies to find him, and they reported back that Elisha was in a small town called Dothan. Without a moment's hesitation, the king dispatched a massive army horses, chariots, a great force to surround the city under the cover of night. They were determined to catch this prophet. The next morning, Elisha's servant woke up early and went outside. What he saw sent a chill of pure terror down his spine. The entire city was encircled. As far as his eyes could see, there were enemy soldiers, horses, and war chariots. The morning sun glinted off their armor and weapons. They were trapped. Panicked, he ran back inside to Elisha, crying out, "Oh no, my master! What shall we do?" He saw only the problem, the insurmountable odds, the impending doom. His reality was defined by the massive hostile army at their gates. But Elisha's response was calm, steady, and full of a confidence that seemed completely out of place. He simply said, "Don't be afraid." Can you imagine hearing that? Don't be afraid. Look outside. But then Elisha said something profound. Those who are with us are more than those who are with them. The servant must have been so confused. Us? There were only two of them. Them. There was a whole army out there. What on earth was Elisha talking about? Seeing the fear and confusion in his servant's eyes, Elisha did something amazing. He prayed. It was a short, simple prayer. "Oh Lord, please open his eyes that he may see." And in that instant, God answered. The servant's eyes were opened, not just his physical eyes, but his spiritual eyes. He looked out again at the hills surrounding Dothan, and what he saw took his breath away. The landscape was transformed. The hills were no longer just filled with enemy soldiers. Now they were blazing with a heavenly army. Horses and chariots of fire filled the entire mountainside, surrounding Elisha, a celestial force of unimaginable power and light. Standing guard between them and the Aramean army, the fear instantly vanished, replaced by awe. He finally understood. They were never outnumbered. They were never alone. This story is so much more than just an ancient tale. It's a lesson for every single one of us. When we face our own Aramean armies, whether it's anxiety, financial trouble, health issues, or relationship struggles, it's so easy to feel like that servant, surrounded and terrified. We see the problem and it looks huge, impossible. But this story invites us to pray Elisha's prayer for ourselves. "Lord, open my eyes that I may see." It's a prayer to see beyond the immediate circumstances, to recognize the unseen help, the hidden strength, and the divine presence that surrounds us. It reminds us that even when we feel most alone, there are more on our side than we could ever imagine. The battle isn't just what we see. There's a whole other dimension at play. Thanks so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, hit that like. share, and subscribe button for more scripture power stories that explores these powerful truths.